Representative, further discussion. Representative Evans.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. To the bill.
To the bill.
Colleagues, I've actually enjoyed listening to the discussion today. And I'm in support of this bill for a couple of really simple reasons. First, I don't think this is the panacea, and I don't think it's going to change a whole lot for most people, but I think it will help a few, and I think for those folks it's going to be very important. Number two, my dad is a small businessman with 3 full-time employees and a couple of part-times. And of all the different ideas, of all the things that have come and been talked about and debated and had floor letters and rhetorical discussions, the one he actually likes the most is this, because it's a simple switch action for him. He doesn't have a human resources department and never wants one. And he likes the idea that if he goes out of business, which may happen because he's being pushed to the wall by internet services these days, his employees, because it's portable, can go somewhere else. So the portability of this is important. And in terms of historical perspective, I think it's weird. Sometimes we get so used to the way things are, we forget to ask some of the assumptions. So if we go back 80 plus years to the Great Depression, with a D, not an R, the Depression, we had a situation where the economy was at a standstill and Roosevelt and the Congress had to do something, and they actually did some things that most people right now would not have thought of. They expected business to help push for retirement and business to help with health care, and we got to a point that about 1990 to 2000, when GM was putting a car out, from the very beginning, when the steel was rolling down the line, we were $6,000 sunk cost compared to our global competitors who don't pay for those things out of their business. Their society finds ways to do it a different way. I actually think it's good business sense to have a voluntary, and I emphasize voluntary, individual retirement system where people opt out. Now, in the military, which is not private sector, I admit, but we have all kinds in the military, and I will tell you for a fact that the thrift savings program that's offered in the military made a fundamental difference for a lot of the young enlisted folks because it was something they could put away, not think about when the paychecks came out. And when we got back from deployments, they weren't always necessarily thinking about wise investments, but that money was stocked away, and it was there for them to have. So, colleagues, today I ask us to support this bill, not because it's perfect, not because it's going to make everybody in Oregon rich. I think the discussion items that were raised earlier about how we can kickstart our economy and how we can find ways to make Oregon more competitive compared to Washington are things we need to be talking about. But in this particular case, I ask us not to let the big argument get in the way of what really this bill is about. Someday there may be a bill about matching money. Someday there may be more forced this, that, or the other. And someday we may all ride unicorns. I don't know. But today, the bill in front of us is a voluntary program that has a couple of steps in the process, and I believe a very smart, albeit small, step toward helping at least a few of our neighbors and friends save for the future. Thank you very much. I encourage an aye vote on this bill.
Thank you, Representative. Further discussion.